Hi, I'm Angela Pitter, founder and CEO of Livewire Collaborative. And today I'm going to talk to you about 3 ways to power up your brand with LinkedIn. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about me. Livewire Collaborative is a company I founded 8 years ago. And we work with small to mid-sized businesses as well as larger nonprofits profits to help them to use social media to connect, collaborate, and convert their target communities. Some of our more popular services include digital marketing assessment, strategy implementation, events, as well as corporate training. And one of our favorite topics is LinkedIn. So today we're going to talk about LinkedIn. And I want to let you know that LinkedIn was actually one of the original social media platforms. It was founded in 2003 and now has nearly 800 million members worldwide. But LinkedIn is the platform where you find your senior level influencers, where you find your decision makers, as well as over 55 million companies and job openings. But what we're going to focus on is the 3 key branding elements. And I want you to think about when you look at somebody's profile, what are those 3 things you see right away? And they are the profile photo, the background photo, and the headline. That's what we call the top of the fold. So those are the first 3 elements that you see when you look at somebody's profile. And why are the photos so important? Because the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So LinkedIn's own data says with a good profile photo, you're going to get 21 times more profile views, 36 times more messages, and up to 9 times more connection requests. So it's going to help you get recognized. So you want to make sure you have a professional photo that actually fills the frame with your face. So you really want to have a close-up photo from the top of your head to the top of your shoulders. And even though it's a professional photo, it doesn't need to be taken by a professional. Your smartphone has a great camera. Well, you can just take a selfie against a white background, and that will work perfectly for LinkedIn. But the other photo that's just as important is the background photo. And think about the background photos when you're like driving down the highway, you see that Nike billboard, just do it. And just those 3 words, you know right away, and it's right on brand. So you're thinking about how you're going to build your brand with the photo. So this first example here is a great background of a former business development person working at Staples. And you know they're pitching Staples Studios. So wouldn't it be great if you were a salesperson selling space that you can actually picture the space as part of your background? And so that people who come to your profile can actually see what the space looks like and how people are using the space. But if you're an author, you might also want to showcase your whole series of books as this author has done here. Or if you're like me, you want to actually showcase that you like to speak, you train a lot. So for me, action shots work really well. So here's 5 good ideas on how you can build your background. Definitely any scenes from your office, your products, your services, anything that has, your logo in it. Definitely any awards that you've received, any credentials. Sometimes people will have, top salesperson or number one in the industry. Any of those key quantifiers you want to include as well. And if you're a nonprofit, definitely your mission statement would be a great thing to also include in your background. So now the last final element is the headline. And the headline is where you absolutely want to make sure you stop to scroll. And there's a lot of parts to the headline. But what you don't want to do is be typical. So here's some examples of people who really just have titles as headlines. So the attorney, the assistant, the professor, executive director, entrepreneur. That really doesn't tell the person who's looking at your profile what you can offer, what you can do for them. So what you really want to think about, what are those keywords when people are searching for you, or how do they talk about you, your services? So sometimes the keywords is a good way to start off. So for example, here, humanitarian, tech star, again, any awards, LinkedIn, number 5, top voice. Another example here with Pat, leadership coach, helping talented executives achieve leadership success. This is a great formula. A lot of people use this, and the formula kind of goes like this: I help X solve for Y by doing Z, right? So I help X by solving for Y by doing Z. So she's helping talented executives, that's her key audience, and she's solving for a problem, and that problem is achieving leadership success. So that's another example. Or you could be like D. Again, she's helping you organize your ideas and execute your vision. But she also recruitment and staffing advisor, also looking for keynote speaker gigs and podcast hosts. So again, if you're interested in being a guest on somebody's podcast, you might also want to include that. And finally, we have Kathy here. Clearly, she's in tech, LinkedIn top voice in tech. And so she has those keywords, AR, VR, futures intelligence. So anybody in her industry who would be searching with those keywords will be able to find Kathy. So here are those components that you really want to include in your headline. Think about, what is your value proposition? What do you offer? Who do you help? You really want to narrow down your audience. Be specific, and be specific with your outcomes. So again, you got to think about, how do you solve the problem differently from everybody else? And of course, if you can include any awards, any numbers, that would be great. And any emojis, those also work well to make the headline pop. So we want to wrap this up really quickly. So here's in a before and after, former client. You could see he didn't have the background, and the photo was a bit outdated, and he definitely had, the title was the headline instructor, and Phil is so much more than that. So we helped him sort of compose, and you can see right away, because he's an instructor, he decided to use his campus as his background. Again, updated the photo, very nice, has that close crop look here, and expanded on the headline. Instead of just instructor, I'm an educator, I'm a public speaker, sales consultant. And again, what's the secret sauce here? Helping teams exceed quota with my proprietary active listening training. So again, all of these three elements are what we say, again, above the fold. So when you go to someone's LinkedIn profile, what you need to do is stop the scroll, right? You want to stop the scroll. So you're going to make sure that you have these components, the profile photo, the background photo, and the headline correct. Well, thank you for listening in. Again, I'm Angela Pitter, founder and CEO of Livewire Collaborative. If you have any questions, just reach out. You can email me, you can call me, and make sure if you're on social media, have a question, hashtag Ask Angela. And of course, we're talking about LinkedIn, so make sure you can connect with me there. If you just take a picture of this QR code, you're going to be right on my profile. Thanks again.